Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are jumping straight into Day 7 of our Daily Hindi Foundations Explainer. If you've been following along with us, you know we've been building up our language skills block by block. And today, we're focusing on something incredibly practical, market vocabulary. Whether you're traveling or you just want to fully immerse yourself in the culture, knowing how to navigate a bustling market is an absolute survival skill. Our goal today is simple. We want to equip you with the exact words you need to interact confidently in a Hindi-speaking marketplace. So imagine the sights, the sounds, the amazing fresh produce. We're going to take all that vibrant energy and channel it right into our vocabulary today. I'm super excited to guide you through this, so grab your notebooks, get comfortable, and let's dive in.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with Welcome to Day 7. Move into our market vocabulary words, jump into some practical sentence practice, then let's repeat and review. Assign your translation homework, and finally wrap things up with final thoughts.
Section 1. Welcome to Day 7. Setting our learning goals.
Section 2. Market vocabulary words. Verbs, nouns, and adjectives.
All right, let's kick things off with 3 action verbs that are basically the lifeblood of any commerce. To make this as easy to digest as possible, we'll break them down. And please, say them aloud right along with me. First up, we have kharidna, which means to buy. Kharidna. Next is the exact opposite action, bechna, which means to sell. Bechna. And finally, the action of actually transporting those goods, lana, meaning to bring. Lana. So take a quick mental snapshot of these. Kharidna, bechna, lana. These are your absolute foundational action words for today.
Now let's move on to our nouns to really build out this market scene in our heads. Picture yourself walking through a super vibrant, noisy, busy marketplace. The word for that market is bazaar. Bazaar. Now as you stroll through, you're going to see stalls piled incredibly high with phal, which is fruit. Phal. And right next to those, you'll see massive heaps of green sabzi, meaning vegetable, sabzi. As you're listening, try to connect the beautiful shapes of the Devanagari script you see with these essential sounds. Bazaar, phal, sabzi.
And of course, we need adjectives, right? You don't just want to buy vegetables, you want to know their quality and, importantly, their price. So we have sasta, which means cheap. Sasta. Contrast that with mehenga, which means expensive. Mehenga. And naturally, in any food market, you're always looking for something taza, which means fresh. Taza. Finally, we've got an extra bonus word for you, kal. Kal is a really fascinating quirk of the Hindi language because it can actually mean tomorrow or yesterday. It depends entirely on the context of your sentence. Kal.
Section 3. Practical sentence practice. Speaking aloud at the bazaar.
Okay, this is where the magic actually happens. We're going to take those isolated vocabulary words we just learned and weave them together into a real, coherent narrative. I strongly encourage you to actively participate here, guys. Speaking the words physically trains your brain to remember them so much better. Let's set the scene with our very first sentence. Main bazaar jata hoon. I go to the market. Main is I, bazaar is our new noun for market, and jata hu means go. Main bazaar jata hoon. Say it with confidence. You are stating your destination.
So, you're at the market. What's next? Main phal kharidta hoon. I buy fruit. We've just combined our noun phal with our action verb kharidna, conjugated here as kharidta hoon. Main phal kharidta hoon. Notice how the sentence structure in Hindi naturally places that action verb at the very end of the sentence.
Now let's shift our focus to the vendor across the street. Vah sabzi bechta hai. He sells vegetables. Vah simply means he or that person. Sabzi is our vegetable, and bechta hai comes directly from our verb bechna, to sell. Vah sabzi bechta hai. The real takeaway here is seeing how easily we can swap out subjects and objects while keeping that underlying structure totally familiar and steady.
All right, so you're inspecting what you just bought. Let's use our new adjective to talk about the quality. Ye phal taza hai. This fruit is fresh. Ye means this. Phal is fruit. Taza is fresh. And hai is the verb is. Ye phal taza hai. It's such a simple, elegant sentence, but it immediately makes you sound so much more observant and fluent in a marketplace setting.
As you keep walking, maybe you spot a really good bargain to point out to your friend. Yes, sabzi sasti hai. This vegetable is cheap. Now, you might notice a very subtle shift in our adjective here. Sasta became sasti. And that's just because in Hindi, words have genders and sabzi is considered feminine, so the adjective slightly adapts to match it. Ye sabzi sasti hai. Honestly, don't worry too much about the deep grammar rules right now. Just let that calm, steady rhythm of the phrase sink in.
Now, let's completely flip that and look at an expensive item to show how this vocabulary works way beyond just a food market. Ye mobile mehenga hai. This phone is expensive. Mobile is pretty much a universal word, and mehenga perfectly describes a high-ticket item like that. Ye mobile mehenga hai. Just think, you can point to literally anything in a store now and describe its price level.
Next up, let's see how our wildcard word tal changes the whole time frame of what we're doing. Main kal phal lata hoon. I bring fruit tomorrow. Because we are using the context of the present or future tense here, kal translates to tomorrow. Main kal phal lata hoon. It's an absolutely perfect way to talk about your future plans to visit the bazaar.
And let's wrap up our little market story by putting the location and the action together. Wah bazaar se sabzi lata hai. He brings vegetables from the market. See that little connecting word se right in the middle? That just means from. Wah bazaar se sabzi lata hai. You are doing fantastic with these. Just reading through these aloud builds such immense confidence.
Section 4. Let's repeat and review. Anchoring the vocabulary.
You know, in language learning, repetition is absolutely your best friend. It lowers that feeling of anxiety or overload, and it just completely solidifies your memory. So take a deep breath. Here's your entire Day 7 market vocabulary list, all in one place. Let's do a sweeping, deliberate review together to lock it in. For our verbs, we have kharidna, to buy, bichna, to sell, lana, to bring. For nouns, bazaar, market, pal, fruit, sabzi, vegetable. For our adjectives, sasta, cheap, mehenga, expensive, daza, fresh, and our extra time word kal, meaning tomorrow or yesterday. Just look at how much you've accomplished in a matter of minutes. You now hold the exact building blocks to navigate a market.
Section 5. Your translation homework. Test your memory.
Okay, here's your challenge for today. And hey, don't stress about this at all. Think of it as a completely safe, low-pressure way to test out what you just learned. Try translating these 8 English sentences from our practice narrative back into Hindi. Number 1, I go to the market. 2, I buy fruit. 3, he sells vegetables. 4, this fruit is fresh. 5, this vegetable is cheap. 6, this phone is expensive. 7, I bring fruit tomorrow. And 8, he brings vegetables from the market. Your daily assignment is to translate these back. I highly encourage you to try writing them down using the Roman transliteration, and if you are feeling really adventurous today, give the Devanagari script a shot. It is the absolute perfect way to cap off today's learning.
Section 6. Final thoughts and wrap up. Great job today.
I just really want to congratulate you on your hard work and focus today. Tackling a new language is a huge deal, but by breaking it down step by step like this, you are making tremendous progress. You mastered 10 highly practical words today that you can literally step outside and use right now. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought and question to ponder. What will you buy at the bazaar tomorrow? Try to answer that question for yourself in Hindi. Let us know your answers in the comments below, and definitely be sure to check the description for more resources to aid your language journey. Keep practicing, keep speaking aloud, and I'll see you in the next explainer.